What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. We got to talk about the Packers and the direction of this franchise because honestly, this season looks lost at this point. They're 3-6 on a 5-game losing streak. It just doesn't look very good. And I think they need to try one thing in particular. Before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. They need to bench Aaron Rodgers. They need to do that. And the only reason they need to bench him is because you need to see what you have in Jordan Love, because you spent a first round pick on this guy and you really to this point have no idea what he is. He's played in like 2 games, started like 2 games. And when you spend that kind of pick and that kind of investment on somebody, you need to know what you have. And this is the perfect time to find out because the team is already dwindling away. The offense is falling apart. And no, it's not the greatest situation to throw him into, but you're just wasting time. You're in year 3 with this guy, and he's played 2 games. Why not now? Why not now? Like, you have nothing to lose. You're already on a 5-game losing streak. You might as well, maybe he's a shot in the arm. You might as well find out what he can actually do out there on a consistent basis. It's just like, look at their recent games. They lose to the Giants in London. They lose badly to the Jets. They lose to a bad Commanders team. They lose to the Bills. They lose to the Lions, and they look terrible against the Lions. Like, those are just like a lot of those games shouldn't have lost, and they did. And they're kind of beat up a little bit. So really, you need a shot in the arm. And you need to find out what you have. That's the biggest thing, because otherwise it's a waste of a first round pick, and you can't do that as a GM. And it just, when you're 3-6, what do you have to lose? Another game? Okay, you were probably going to lose anyway. You might as well see what this kid can do. Maybe you can be a little bit more creative with the play calling, because I know Aaron Rodgers has been throwing the play calling under the bus, like pretty much after every single game, blaming everything else except himself when, quite frankly, he hasn't played that well. And, maybe, Jordan Love runs like a 4.6 40. He's not the fastest guy or anything like that, but maybe you can get a little creative and get him on the run. He's a little bit more mobile than Rodgers is. And, he has something to prove. Rodgers doesn't have anything to prove. He's won MVPs. He's won a Super Bowl. There's nothing left for that guy to prove other than the fact that his bank account's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger every single year that he plays. So why not figure out what Jordan Love can do? You throw him out there. Maybe you can get him more mobile. Maybe that opens things up for AJ Dillon. Maybe that gives the line a little bit more time because they have somebody back there that can improvise a little bit more with his feet. And I'm not trying to trash Aaron Rodgers because I think he's had one of the greatest careers ever. But realistically, it just makes the most sense to try something different, because whatever they've done to this point has not worked. They are 26th in scoring. 26th. That's bottom 10 in the league, bottom 7 in the league, whatever, bottom 6 in the league for a team that has Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, Aaron Jones in the backfield, AJ Dillon. And yes, the receivers are not, you don't have Devontae Adams there anymore. You don't. But you can make something work with, Sammy Watkins. You can make something work with Christian Watson or Romeo Dobbs, Robert Tonyan. Like, they're not terrible back there. They don't have like game-breaking speed or anything, but like, they're not terrible. So like, just give Jordan Love a shot. And the worst case scenario is you just keep losing. Oh well, you get a better pick, and you can trade Rodgers in the offseason to somebody that's probably not going to be rebuilding or anything like that. You can trade him, get some picks, really get your future going. And if Love turns out to be okay, and I don't expect him to make the playoffs or anything, but he turns out to be like okay, like he's got some potential, we can see why we drafted him, then you at least know you don't need a quarterback, which is the biggest issue that a lot of these teams need. Because face it, Rodgers is getting old. That's Father Time is undefeated, except for in the case of Tom Brady, and even then, right now, it looks like Father Time's about to pull out the dub on him. So what do you have to lose in giving up Jordan Love? I'm harping on that, but what do you have to lose? There's nothing. Probably going to lose Dallas this week, right? Dallas has been really damn good. Then you're going to get the Titans. They have a beatable secondary, but then you're going to get Philly. That's a tough team to play. You're going to get the Bears. That'll be, their defense isn't as good anymore because they traded Roquan. Then you get your bye, and then you're going to get a bad Rams defense, a little bit of a tough Dolphins defense. Vikings defense has been solid. And then the Lions defense, which has been at points one of the worst ever, and then somewhat decent if you look at last week. So like, you're going to get a good sample size of games here to see what Jordan Love can do. And one, you can see how good your coach is, because, being carried a little bit by the defense, and then Aaron Rodgers being as great as he has been, Devontae Adams, you need to see if this coach is someone you want to continue with, because he's won a ton of games, but they have no postseason success. So that's a big thing for coaches. That's why a lot of coaches get fired. You can win a lot of games in the regular season and then just get smoked in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. A lot of coaches get canned for that. I mean, this offense is 25th in first downs. Like, come on. You need a shot in the arm. You need to try something. And the worst case scenario is you just keep doing what you're doing. And that's losing. So, I mean, I think most people will probably agree with me on this. Just figure out what the kid can do, because you cannot be a GM and have drafted a first round pick who's healthy and then never play him. That's almost a fireable offense. I just want to see how Jordan Love plays, because he wasn't terrible against the Chiefs last year. It wasn't great. The Chiefs defense was on a roll at that point in the season last year. But I mean, you got a good enough sample size of games coming up. You can really find out what you drafted. And if he's bad, then you just find out, okay, well, we got Aaron at least, but you're probably still going to trade him. But if he's bad, then you don't have your quarterback. You don't have the quarterback of your future. But, if he's decent, then you can say, all right, we can draft a receiver in the first round, even though we haven't done that in basically forever. So because the defense isn't terrible, so they should be competitive still. I know Aaron Jones has a high ankle sprain, but you got AJ Dillon. You need to see if he can be a workhorse, because it hasn't looked that good. I know the O-line's a little banged up, but in reality, they just need to start trying things, because doing this stale thing over and over and over again is not going to work. And even if it does, like, you're going to make it in as a wild card and probably just get smashed then. Like, there's no point. There's really no point. I would rather just see the teams kind of start over a little bit, like a quick rebuild. I just need a shot of fresh air into this roster, because I'm not even a Packers fan, but they are bad. They're boring, and there's nothing. When you tune in, there is nothing to be excited to watch. But if Jordan Love's out there, be like, hey, young quarterback, let's see if he's got anything. Like, at least that's a shot in the arm alone. Do you agree with me that Jordan Love should just be given the shot? You got 7 or 8 games left, whatever it is, to just see what you have in him, because it doesn't make any sense that he hasn't played that much thus far. It looks like a terrible draft pick right now, and it's not Jordan Love's fault that it looks like a terrible draft pick. So I just think you should figure out what the kid has, because the bare minimum you're going to see, he's either going to be really good or he's not going to be your guy. That's simple. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. Thank you for watching. But it's time to bench Aaron Rodgers for at least the rest of the season and figure out what you can do with Jordan Love. Thank you for watching. Peace.